Yo, we are back, and today I'm bringing you guys a breakdown of the best build at every position in 2K24. I'm going to be breaking down each build, why I chose the stats I did for them, how you should play with them, what position they should be at. I really have everything for you guys in this video, and these are all builds I've been using through every season. We're coming up on season 4 here on Friday, depending on when you guys are watching this video. But I can assure you, these are builds you are not wasting your money on. I've spent my own money on them. I've had a ton of fun and had a super high win percentage every season. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. We don't have any clips today. I'm getting straight into these builds. A build for every position, bunch of different heights, whatever you guys need. Right before we get started, drop a like, drop a sub, turn the notifications on. We're dropping banger videos all through 2K24. And without further ado, let's get into the first build. Alright, for our first build, I'm going to be giving you guys my point guard build. This is a 6'4 build, 175 pounds, 6'7" wingspan. If you like playing point guard, shooting from deep, getting almost all the dribble moves in the entire game, this build's going to be for you. Let's get into the stats. Alright, starting off with the finishing, we went the 75 driving layup just to get some of those layup badges. This build's not going to be crazy finishing, but it's definitely going to get the job done. We also went with a 71 driving dunk. This is going to help unlock the Klay Thompson dunk package, and that is one of the best dunk packages for low ratings. 60 standing dunk. Standing dunks are broken this year. If you get anywhere near the basket, you're going to jump up and dunk it. And then the 82 post control was super cheap. It was the last thing I upgraded on the build just because I had extra attributes. Insanely cheap, and it's also a good bailout. It gives you like spin move and drop stepper and stuff like that. It's really going to bail you out if you get stuck, and it doesn't really cost anything to put it on the build, so it's definitely worth throwing it on there. Alright, on to the shooting. This is where the build really shines. 92 mid-range, 94 3, and an 83 free throw. That 94 3 along with the 92 mid-range is going to get you almost every shooting badge on Gold or Hall of Fame. Extremely good this year. If you're open, you're not missing. Big thing about the 92 mid-range, you get Hall of Fame Midi Magician. And I've honestly found that to be one of the most overpowered badges because you can just run and fade every single possession. And then that 94 3 is going to let you shoot from anywhere. I have a whole video just on this build alone if you guys want to go see how this build can shoot and dribble. It's the shoot first point build on my page, but other than that, this is the shooting, very overpowered. Let's get on to the playmaking. For the playmaking, that 70 pass accuracy, promise it's all you need this year. It does the job. No pass style is the best pass style this year, and I definitely get the job done with the 70. Obviously, you could go higher if you wanted to, but you're going to have to drop some other stuff. 93 ball handle gets you every single dribble move in the entire game except for Steve Francis. And I'm going to tell you why that's not important in a second. And that's because of this 90 speed with ball. 90 speed with ball unlocks Kyrie dribble style and lets you speed boost out of any dribble move. You can just run left, run right. As long as you're holding RT, you're going to speed boost out of the dribble move because of that dribble style. Overall, the playmaking on this build is very good. You're going to be able to dribble like crazy. You're going to be able to dot your teammates, do everything you need to do as a point guard. Let's get onto the defense. Alright, now this might not look like much, but that 55 interior is going to let you wall up people in the paint. I'm telling you, it lets you get stops if you're playing hands up. 55 is all you need to be able to get those contests in the paint and get some missed layups on whoever you're guarding. And then the 58 perimeter, also not much, but it's going to get you bronze challenger, which is going to get you better contests on the perimeter. And it's also going to let you get a bump every once in a while, especially if you want to like throw lock take on this build or if you have Mamba take. This doesn't look like much, but it definitely gets the job done. And on to the physicals, the 85 speed, 87 excel, strictly for dribbling badges, playmaking badges. That's why I hit those thresholds there. 58 vertical, that's going to help us get that Klay Thompson dunk package. Very good this year. And then the 99 stamina, obviously. You want to be able to dribble for as long as possible, get the handles for days, and not run out of adrenaline or stamina. That's going to pretty much do it for this build. Let's check out the comparisons and the build name. Alright, as you're going to see, we get Kenny Smith, Jalen Brunson, and Cade Cunningham for our comparisons. And our build name is a shoot first point. This is a really rare build name this year. Super cool. Overall, this is our point guard build. Hope y'all like it. Let's get on to the shooting guard. Alright, on to the shooting guard position. This is the build I use at shooting guard. I know a lot of people have different opinions on what should be used at shooting guard, but I run a 6'8" shooting guard. So this is my 6'8", 185 pound, 7'5" shooting guard that I use. I generally like to run a pretty big lineup, and this can be used as like a secondary ball handler in the rec or even in the park. I have a lot of fun in this build, and it's super well-rounded. Let's get into the stats. Alright, right off the bat, you can tell the finishing stats in this build are amazing. You get the 89 driving dunk to get a whole bunch of different contact dunk animations. The 34 standing dunk is going to be all you need. Standing dunks are broken this year, like I said before. You're still going to be dunking everything standing under the rim. 92 post control on a 6'8" lets you throw people out of the way. Even if your strength isn't high, you can still throw people out of the way. And most importantly, you get gold unpluckable with that 92 post control, which if you're dribbling it all in the 6'8", you're definitely going to want that unpluckable. It's going to save you in a lot of situations. The driving layup and close shot aren't anything crazy, but you don't really need them. You're honestly going to be dunking everything running at the rim, and your shooting on this build is going to be pretty good, as you guys will see in a second, which is also going to help you not need to take those layups or close shots as much. Alright, on to the shooting. You get the 84 mid-range, 79 three-pointer, and a 63 free throw. 63 free throw, we'll start out with that. It's definitely enough to hit free throws in the rec if that's what you're looking for. I didn't want to dump too many attributes into it, but it's still helpful to have it up a little bit. 79 three-point shot. As you know, if you've played the game at all this year, 79 is more than enough to shoot. And then that 84 mid-range is going to get you a lot of your shooting badges. That's what I went for at the 84. It unlocks you a ton of gold and silver shooting badges. I'm not going to go through and name them all, but trust me, it unlocks a bunch of them. And I also made sure to hit that 84 threshold because it unlocks a bunch more jump shots. Overall, shooting on this build is crazy. I'm telling you, this is plenty enough to shoot. If you haven't played the game yet this year, you don't need anything more than this. Let's get on to the playmaking. On to the playmaking here. The 85 ball handle and 75 speed with ball are the thresholds you're going to want on any build that you want to dribble on taller than 6'6". If you played the game at all this year, you know that the 85 ball handle unlocks you all the dribble animations for 6'8" players, and that's what this build is. And then that 75 speed with ball is going to get you a lot of the good dribble styles for 6'8". And then the 70 pass accuracy, like I said with the point guard, 70 is plenty. I haven't needed anything more all year. I have tried higher, but it's really not worth it in my opinion. Going through the playmaking pretty quick because it's pretty standard, but this is all you're going to need. This unlocks all the dribble moves you're going to need. Trust me on this. Let's get on to the defense. All right, as you can see, we have insanely solid defense on this build. It's been crazy well-rounded so far, and that does not stop with the defense. We get 85 perimeter, 85 steal. That's going to get us the silver perimeter badges, silver steal badges. And then we also have a 77 block on this build, so if somebody does happen to blow by you, they're going to get chased down off the glass every time. That 61 interior defense is more than enough to get stops in the paint. Play hands up, and you're going to be getting stops a lot of the time. And then the 40 defensive rebound just ended up coming up with something else, so that's not really important. But overall, as you can see, this defense is crazy on this 6'8" build. If you're looking to run this at a 1 or a 2 on a bigger lineup, this is definitely going to get the job done offensively and defensively. This is definitely the best, most well-rounded build in the video. So if you're looking to do a little bit of everything or just play with your friends for fun, this is the build I would definitely recommend. On to the physicals here, pretty standard stuff. Max speed, max acceleration, that's going to get us a lot of those dribbling, playmaking badges. 50 strength, just so that we can get the defensive badges that we need, clamps, all the perimeter defense badges. 78 vertical is going to go ahead and get you those dunk packages that we talked about earlier. And then 96 stamina is what I had left for the attributes, and that's more than enough. You really don't run out of stamina or adrenaline in this build, especially if you have your gated workouts done. On to the comparisons and build name. As you can see, Lonzo Ball, James Harden, Cade Cunningham, a tall guard kind of build, and we're going to get the 3-level threat name. That's it for the shooting guard. Let's get on to the small forward. All right, here we are with a small forward build. Real quick, if you haven't yet, before we get started, drop a like on the video. This one took me some time. I'd really appreciate it. As you can see, I still have point guard selected. This is our small forward build, but we're going to get more speed if we select the position point guard. So I went point guard for our small forward, 6'8", 195 pounds, 7'6" wingspan. This is going to be our lockdown, our speed boosting lockdown build. Ton of fun, very competitive. Let's get into it. All right, starting off with the finishing on this build, I'm just going to tell you right up front, this is my favorite build of the year. I play on this build with my friends, with my IRLs, in competitive. This build can really do a little bit of everything. And wait till you see the defensive stats. This is technically a lockdown, but you get 84 driving dunk, which is going to unlock the LeBron dunk packages, along with a whole bunch of other cheesy, low-rated dunk packages. Not too much to say with the rest of the finishing, but that doesn't really matter. You get the driving dunk. You're going to be able to dunk out of the corners or on fast breaks. This is more than enough to do what you need. On to the shooting. 78 three-pointer is pretty much the highlight of the shooting. This is going to get you some really good silver shooting badges. And as a lockdown, most of the time you're just going to be shooting corner threes. But trust me, 78, you can shoot top of the key super consistently. You get sharp take, you can pull from hash. It really doesn't matter. 78's more than enough and unlocks a whole bunch of shooting badges and jump shots. Not too much else to say about the shooting with the 58 free throw and 64 mid-range, but it gets the job done. That 78 3 is the highlight of it, and that's all you're really going to need. On to the playmaking. This is where my lockdown is unique. 70s across the board. 70 pass accuracy, more than enough. I've said it in the last two builds. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. 70 ball handle, 70 speed with ball is going to unlock you a ton of pro dribble moves. And you can speed boost on this build. As a pure lockdown, you can speed boost on this build. It is a ton of fun. Trust me, it's worth the attributes. 70s across the board in playmaking, and that's what makes this build unique, fun, and still competitive. On to the defense. You guys already saw the crazy stats we get in all the other categories. Come to find out, this build is a lockdown. 82 interior, 93 perimeter, 91 steal, 92 block, and then that 52 defensive rebound just so you can grab some every once in a while. This build can guard 1 through 5 and get stops on every single opponent super consistently. I've guarded 6'1" guards all the way up to 7'3" centers, and I can get consistent stops on this build. If you know how to play defense, which you need to be able to on any lockdown, this is going to be super overpowered. Like I said before, this build's a ton of fun. The defense makes it even better. Let's get on to the physicals. All right, 83 speed, 77 excel. You want to be able to keep up with whoever you're guarding. So we want to max those out, be as fast as we can as a lockdown. And also it's going to help you dribbling, speed boosting a little bit. You're going to be moving out of those dribble moves a little bit faster. 74 strength for a movable enforcer. And this is also what helps be able to guard 1 through 5 because you can body up the centers and power forwards a little bit better. 80 vertical. I don't care if everybody says vertical matters. You get way more blocks. You get way more rebounds. And then 99 stamina. You don't want to run out of stamina while you're guarding somebody. Definitely worth putting the attributes into stamina. On to the comparisons and build name. As you can see, Lonzo Ball, James Harden, Shai Gilgeous. And we built a defensive menace. This lockdown is insanely fun. I'm telling you, if you make this, you will not be disappointed. Let's get on to the power forward. All right, here we have my power forward or my popper build. This is what I used the first 3 months of the game. It was the only build I had for a long time. This build is a ton of fun, super good, very competitive power forward build. You can use it as a popper in the park or a 4-man in the rec or pro-am. I have a 92 win percentage on this build. I'm telling you, it's super good. Let's get into the stats. All right, starting out with finishing badges here, finishing attributes. We get a 90 driving dunk, which is going to get you a ton of contact dunk animations. This is also going to get you gold precision dunker, which is super good this year. And then the 45 standing dunk is enough to get you the standing dunk animations, which are going to make you dunk even more standing under the hoop. 70 driving layups can get you a couple of layup packages, nothing crazy, but most of the time you're going to be dunking it anyways. And then the close shot and post control just came up with the other stuff that was upgraded, so those aren't too important. Big highlight here is the 90 driving dunk. You're going to catch a lot of bodies on this build. On to the shooting. 77 three-pointers is the main thing here. That gets you a lot of silver shooting badges that you're going to need. Catch and shoot kind of stuff. This is a popper build. You're mostly going to be sitting in the corner or spotting up. You're not going to be shooting off the dribble on this build, so 77 is definitely plenty. I also shoot about 65% from 3, so that's definitely shows that 77 is plenty. 63 mid-range. I don't really shoot mid-range, but if I do, they go in anyways because of that three-pointer getting us those badges. And then the 65 free throw is enough to knock them down. Feel free to go higher on that if you think you're going to be shooting more free throws or playing more 5s than park. On to the playmaking. 70 pass accuracy is the only thing I upgraded here. The other two kind of came up with it. But that 70 pass accuracy, again, same as all the other builds. It's all you're going to need. And you're not going to be dribbling on this build. This is more of a big man or a popper, like I said, so don't worry about the ball handler speed with ball. This is going to be like a pick and pop, pick and roll type of build, spotting up, not dribbling, and that's going to round out the playmaking. Let's get on to the defense. On to the defense. This is where the build shines. This is what I made this build for. I wanted to be really good on defense. Guard 1 through 5. Yes, I'm 6'9". I might be a little slow, but I have guarded point guards before, so it's definitely possible. But the 82 interior is going to help you guard all the big men in the paint. 85 defense, 85 steal, which is also going to help you get those silver perimeter badges. 92 block, definitely worth it over the 87. You get way more chase downs and you get way more blocks in general. I went with a 60 offensive rebound. I didn't think it was as important, and you're going to grab those anyways because of the 92 defensive rebound, which is going to get you a lot of the gold rebounding badges. Overall, the defense is insane across the board. It's really the highlight of this build and the whole reason I made it. I want to be able to stop anyone and still spot up and shoot. So if that's what you're looking for, this is the build for you. All right, on to the physicals here. Speed and acceleration, 77, 67. You just want to be as fast as you can. 90 strength is what I really went for in this build. I wanted to make sure I got that gold brick wall, setting big bodies, being able to box out, kind of push people around. It really helps on defense and offense, honestly, with your finishing. 78 vertical, that's going to help you get a lot of your dunk packages and also help you grab more boards. And then that 98 stamina maxed out at what it can get to, making sure you don't run out of stamina. For the comparisons and build name, as you can see, Jaren Jackson Jr., Evan Mobley, that's kind of exactly what I was going for with this build, like a 3-and-D type of build, but we ended up getting quite a bit of finishing and a decent pass accuracy. Let's get on to the center. All right, here on the center build, I went with a 7-foot center. I wanted a build that was going to be dominant inside and also be able to shoot a little bit. So I went height 7 foot, 248 pounds, 7'10" wingspan. Let's get into the stats. All right, starting out, 84 close shot is going to get you the hook specialist kind of badges if that's what you want to do on this center. I did it just to make more standing layups as well, but it's definitely dominant on the inside. 55 driving layup doesn't really affect anything. I'm not going to lie, that's not very necessary. I think it came up with something else. 75 driving dunk is going to get you some of the better driving dunk animations for big men. 83 standing dunk is going to get you standing contact dunks, which are definitely a necessity on this build, especially if you want to dominate in the paint. And then 79 post control is going to let you throw people around a little bit and get that bronze unpluckable, which lets you get ripped less when you're posting up, and also if you happen to be dribbling the ball, which you really shouldn't be doing too much on this build. But overall, the finishing attributes are very good, very solid. You're going to be dominant on the inside. On to the shooting here. Like I said, you're going to be dominant on the inside, but you also want to be able to space the floor a little bit. So I went and put a 74 three-pointer on this build. 74 might not seem like much, but it's definitely enough to shoot consistently. If you need a jump shot for this, I posted a few on my page for 74 rated jump shots. It's definitely worth upgrading this so you're able to space the floor a little bit, and once you get sharp take, you are a sniper from 3. On to the playmaking, I ended up going with a 75 pass accuracy, which is plenty for me. All I do is grab rebounds, throw it all the way down the court and wreck, and I'm pretty accurate most of the time. You're obviously going to get a turnover here and there, but it's really expensive to upgrade this higher, and I think 75 on this build is plenty. And then I did not upgrade my ball handler speed with ball. The ball handle came up with a pass accuracy, but you're not going to be dribbling on this build. I mean, you're 7 foot, and it's meant to be like an inside or like a stretch big. You're going to be dominant on defense and offense, but you're not going to be dribbling very much. On to the defense, 82 interior is going to be enough, especially with your 7'10" wingspan to get a stop on any center you're going against. 60 perimeter and 60 steal. I threw it on there just in case you get switched out on the perimeter. You're able to move a little bit, stick with some people. Obviously nothing crazy, but it was pretty cheap, and you'll be able to guard guards a little bit. 87 block. You're going to get a ton of blocks being 7 foot with a huge wingspan. That 87 block is crazy on this build. 80 offensive rebound, and then a 93 defensive rebound are going to get you a ton of rebounding badges. You're snagging rebounds over everybody on this build, especially if you're boxing out or kind of know your positioning. Defense very solid. Overall, this center is going to be very dominant in the rec. I don't run this kind of build in park very much, but if you need it for 5s, it's a very good 5 center. Onto the physicals. I maxed the speed. Acceleration's only at a 52, but it's not like you're trying to speed boost. You're not dribbling on this build, so it's not quite as important. Strength, I went with a 90, again, to get those big man like badges like brick wall, and it's also going to help you throw people around a little bit, grab a few more rebounds. And going off of that rebounding, I went with an 80 vertical, so you're able to jump up and get rebounds. It definitely affects it this year, so make sure you're upgrading that vertical. And then stamina, I went with a 95. That's as high as it could go, but you're not really going to be dribbling on this build, so it's not like you're going to be running out of stamina all the time. On to our comparisons in build name. Walker Kessler and Josef Nurkic are insane comparisons, especially with the build name Glass Cleaning Interior Thread. Nobody's going to be able to expect you to shoot. I hope you like this build, and that's it for the center. And that is going to do it for our every position build in 2K24. These are the builds I'm going into Season 4 with. I'm telling you, these are my favorite. These are the best builds I've played with this year. Definitely a lot of fun and competitive. If you stuck around till the end, let me know in the comments. Drop a like, drop a sub on your way out, and I will see you in the next one.